Greetings, my esteemed subscribers. Today's topic is about Bitcoin, and it's about why the price of Bitcoin has been going down the past few weeks. And last week on May 19th, 2021, the price of Bitcoin crashed, and although it bounced back up, this has been a major concern for a lot of investors because the price of Bitcoin has been on a downward trajectory. And today I'm going to discuss why this is and go over with you the reasons and the causes for the downward trajectory of the price of Bitcoin. So the main spark for the Bitcoin crash on May 19th was China's moves to limit the use of Bitcoin. And China has been communicating to its institutional players, its financial institutions, that they want Bitcoin to be less accepted as a form of transaction. They want to make limits on how you can process Bitcoin and limit people from actually accepting Bitcoin as a currency and using it as a form of transaction. So obviously this is very bad news for people who are invested in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is meant to be an alternative currency, kind of like gold or silver. And although it does work as an alternative currency, it can face challenges if governments are trying to limit its acceptance in business, if it's telling institutional players, if it's telling corporations to not accept Bitcoin. And that has affected Bitcoin sharply because it has caused the Bitcoin crash. But it bounced back up, but overall the trajectory has been downward. So there are other causes to why the price of Bitcoin has been going down. One problem I think Bitcoin faces is that it faces a lot of opposition from environmentalists, and there are environmental concerns about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin does have an energy problem because the use of Bitcoin and the mining for Bitcoin consumes a lot of energy. In fact, if you look at how much electricity Bitcoin consumes, it consumes as much electricity as entire countries. If you look at the graph, Bitcoin consumes even more electricity than wealthy countries like Sweden and Norway. And this is a major concern for environmentalists because they believe that Bitcoin has a big carbon footprint, which is bad for the environment. Environmental concerns have caused influential figures like Elon Musk to pull back support from Bitcoin. And Elon Musk has been very influential in the past few years, and he's someone that a lot of people look up to and try to gain insight from. And if Elon Musk says that he is pulling support from Bitcoin and he thinks it has environmental problems, that's going to cause a lot of people to lose confidence in the value of Bitcoin. And the environmental concerns also give governments more reason to oppose Bitcoin. Governments in general already do not like Bitcoin because Bitcoin is an alternative currency that takes away power from the government because governments have their own fiat currencies. So Bitcoin is a competitor to them. And for governments who are especially keen on keeping their power or growing their power, Bitcoin is a threat to that power. And although not all governments are like that, they have a tendency to want to keep power or grow power. If you look at what's happening with inflation, governments have been printing a lot of money. And this is a response to the coronavirus pandemic because governments want to deliver more aid to their people, to their citizens. And a way to do so is to print money instead of raising taxes. And that causes inflation, and that is why people are looking to invest in safe commodities like gold or silver. But now people are looking to invest in cryptocurrencies as well, like Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is essentially the gold or silver of the modern day. It is a more hard currency. It's not something that you can just print whenever the government wants you to print. And the fiat currency, on the other hand, like the US dollar or the European euro, governments can print as much as they want. And although they don't do that because they don't want to ruin the economy, hypothetically they can. So there isn't a lot of mechanisms to prevent that from happening besides our trust in the government and the competence of government officials, which isn't always something that we rely on. We don't always rely on the competence of government officials, and oftentimes they do wrong things. So that is why, to hedge against inflation, you invest in hard assets like gold, silver, but now cryptocurrencies as well, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. And because of governmental opposition against Bitcoin, especially with countries like China limiting its use, and also with the environmental concerns about Bitcoin prompting people to withdraw support and prompting governments to take action against Bitcoin, all of these contribute to the decline of the price of Bitcoin in the past few weeks. And although the overall trajectory is upward, if you look at the price of Bitcoin in the past 5 years, or even since 2019, the trajectory in the past few weeks have been downward, and I want to discuss why this is. However, you should look at the more long-term trajectory, which is the past 10 years, or the even past 5 years, or past 2 years. And Bitcoin has gone up and up and up because it is a currency that has mechanisms to prevent it from hyperinflation. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this video enlightened you. Check out the links in the description below, and like, comment, and subscribe. I talk about business, money, and self-improvement, and I want to make a positive impact on as many people as possible. I aim to teach, inspire, and motivate, and help you on your journey to success. Thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.